Yo, what's up everyone? My name is Andrew Warren, and in today's video, we're going to be talking about the popular subject, something that has been especially popular within the past week or so, which is Nikola Motors. And in this video, I'm going to be giving my thoughts on it, my opinions on it. Of course, keep in mind that none of this is to be considered financial advice. This is simply me just sharing my thoughts and opinions about this stock specifically. And of course, as you can tell from the title, I do not have a very positive outlook on this stock or this company as well, especially given the current valuation that it's at. And with people buying this stock at a share price of like $64, as you can see right now, on Friday, it went up 5.79%, and the stock is currently valued at almost $64 per share. And so in this video, I'm going to be giving my opinions and my thoughts about that. But before we go on, please make sure to smash that like button, drop a like on the video, really does help me out. And if you would like to subscribe, feel free to do so as well. We're almost at 5,000 subscribers, which is absolutely crazy. Thank you all so much for the love so far. But I've seen a lot of people talking in the comment sections about this stock recently, especially on my videos on Tesla stock. There's been a lot of individuals asking me, do I think Nikola is the next Tesla? Is Nikola a good opportunity to purchase at this point for some potential gains in the future if this company does turn into something? So with that, I decided to finally do a video on this because of you all commenting about a stock. So keep in mind, if you want to see me do a video on a specific stock, it doesn't hurt to comment down below, because I do read comments, and if I see other people liking that comment and people wanting me to do that video, then I may consider doing so if it's something that my subscribers want to see. So definitely feel free to drop another stock down in the comment section below that you would love to see me cover. But anyways, jumping straight into the topic, as you can see, Nikola is at about $64 per share right now, and I just find it so ironic. It has a $23 billion market cap, 4 employees, and as you can see in the About section, it says, Nikola Corporation engages in the provision of zero-emissions transportation and infrastructure solutions. It designs and manufactures battery electric and hydrogen electric vehicles, electric vehicle drivetrains, vehicle components, energy storage systems, and hydrogen fueling station infrastructure. The company was founded by Trevor Milton in 2015 and is headquartered in Phoenix, Arizona. So first off, I'm going to start out with a few criticisms of the stock, and the most obvious one is the share price right now. This share price is absolutely ridiculous. And I know some of you may be thinking, okay, Andrew, I know you're a big Tesla bull. You've talked about buying Tesla at a premium and Tesla stock still being worth purchasing at premiums. So how could you say that about Tesla stock and then, of course, say that Nikola stock is too high? Well, I've got some reasoning for you. The thing about Tesla stock and Tesla as a company, there's a huge reason why there's a bullish fan base around Tesla, and that is just because of the fundamentals and, of course, their plan for the future and what they've done in the past, in addition to the progress that they're already making right now with scaling their business. So a common criticism of Tesla for a long time has been that they're not profitable. They don't profit every quarter. And my response to that is that Tesla scales their businesses. They do what Amazon does. It's pretty much the best thing you can do as a growing business. Rather than simply just take profits and have that as extra capital, Tesla likes to put those extra profits into investing further into their business and scaling their business further. So basically, it's like what Amazon does. That's why Amazon doesn't have to pay a lot in taxes every year, because they reinvest a lot of their profits into their business and can therefore grow their business even more to make more profits, to reinvest those profits back into the business, and then of course grow their company even more once again. So that is the same thing that Tesla does, and that's just one aspect of why the criticism of Tesla stock doesn't work when it comes to profitability, because they're doing exactly what Amazon is doing. In my opinion, Tesla is kind of similar to Amazon a few years ago. As we know, Amazon was once at $900, $1,000 per share. So back onto Nikola stock, my thing about this is, we can of course avoid the idea of profitability because I understand scaling businesses and stuff like that, but I do think profitability is still a factor because, for example, you could have a company that is not making profit but is also not scaling their business as well, in which that would be a bad situation. However, if you are making profit and scaling your business, then in my opinion, that's a much different story. That's a good thing. But if you're not making profit and you're not reinvesting into your business, then that is a much more negative situation that sort of represents a lack of growth, in my opinion. So with Nikola, they have pretty much no sales right now. Of course, they have a prototype and pre-orders, And this is another thing that I really want to emphasize on. Nikola may have pre-orders, but what you really have to keep in mind is that anyone can pre-order a Nikola truck right now. Anyone can get on their website and order a Nikola Badger truck or a Nikola semi-truck, and you can even order 10 of them at once with no deposit required. So with that, we have to take into consideration a lot of the criticism that was directed toward Tesla when they had the Cybertruck announcement, and of course there was the $100 deposit for pre-ordering the Cybertruck, and a lot of the criticism emphasized that people could simply just cancel their deposit and get the refund and not have to order the truck when it was time for production and delivery. So the $100 deposit isn't technically a big deal when it comes to pre-orders, and of course it also means that just because someone deposited $100 for a pre-order, it doesn't mean that they're going to spend the full $40,000, $50,000, $70,000 on the Cybertruck. So with that being said, just because someone deposits $100 for a Cybertruck doesn't mean that they're going to actually spend the full amount and actually pre-order. They can cancel that. However, with Nikola, you don't have to put down any money whatsoever. So if we're really talking about hypocrisy, it's if the same people that are criticizing Tesla for the $100 pre-order are not criticizing Nikola for their no money down pre-order. And in my opinion, there's a big difference in a $100 pre-order and a $0 pre-order, because there's plenty of people out there that might just want to mess around and say, okay, I'm going to order this Nikola Badger truck, and they go ahead and sign up to it and order one. And in my opinion, there's also probably some people out there that are trying to pump up the stock price for when they finally release the pre-order numbers by simply just them pre-ordering 10 Nikola trucks at once, and of course it pumps the numbers up and makes the numbers look better when they know they can in fact cancel it later on. So this is one major criticism that I have with the Nikola company right now, is that their vehicle pre-orders do not have any sort of money down deposit compared to like Tesla. The least amount of money that you could pre-order a Tesla vehicle is with a $100 deposit. And then of course the pre-order price gets even greater as you have more expensive vehicles like the Tesla Roadster, which is a $50,000 put down pre-order. And that's also another thing to keep in mind as well, at least with the pre-orders on the Tesla Cybertruck, that $100 down that people are putting into their pre-order, at least Tesla can use that sort of as like a short-term loan with no interest rate. That's basically a no interest loan for them, whereas you have Nikola where they're not gaining any sort of put down money from those pre-orders, which means they're not getting any sort of loan or anything like that that Tesla is getting, and it also means that their pre-order numbers can be pumped up to an inaccurate number. So that's one issue that I have with the stock. When they eventually inevitably release the pre-order numbers, a lot of people may get hyped about that, but the thing to keep in mind is that there's really no downside to signing up for a Nikola Badger pre-order when you can cancel it and when there's no money to put down for that pre-order. So the numbers can be very, very inflated, especially when there are some investors out there that are ordering 10 at once and stuff like that, just in hopes of pumping up the stock itself. So that's one issue that I have. And then another issue is that, as we know, it's incredibly difficult to start up an automotive company, especially in times like these where there's the fear of the Rona, of course, and just even in normal times as well. It was extremely difficult for Tesla to get through all of these dark times to be at where they are today. Tesla was actually very close to going bankrupt at many times in the past, and as we know, for the most part, Tesla has engaged in some of the most optimized processes possible to ensure that their company exists today, and that goes along with the declining cost curves on the batteries, of course, so it means cheaper production for them in the future. Their whole vehicle production lineup was ordered perfectly to where they could start out with a vehicle like the Roadster that was expensive and low volume, to where they could use those profits to produce a vehicle that is higher volume and less expensive like the Model S, and so on and so forth, until we have, of course, the Cybertruck coming up next year. So Tesla has been extremely optimized and efficient, and that is one of the main reasons why they haven't gone bankrupt and why they exist today and are doing so well. So for a startup like Nikola with no sales whatsoever and pre-orders that really don't mean much in my opinion, it's going to be very difficult for them to start production, and especially mass production. So Nikola is going to have to rely on a lot of sales, and I honestly just don't think that they can do mass production anytime soon. Even in 2021, I don't think that's possible for Nikola. I don't think it's really possible for 2022. Maybe they'll get some out in 2022, but as we know, even Elon himself, one of the smartest men in the world, has said that manufacturing is one of the most difficult things that someone can do, and they they had a lot of difficulties with creating all of their models that they've released so far with production and manufacturing. They've been through a lot of struggles when it comes to manufacturing. And this is something else to keep in mind. If Nikola really wants to be a good competitor to Tesla, especially in the semi realm, they're going to have to create a lot of factories in the future. And of course, with the stock price right now, they may have some money to do that. But like I said, it takes time. And Tesla is extremely optimized. And especially considering that Tesla just announced that they're going to try to expedite production for the Tesla Semi, then that is a big threat to Nikola. And I think at this point, when Tesla says they're going to try to start getting out production for the Semi vehicles, that's really when Nikola investors should really be worried, because in my opinion, Tesla is going to do whatever Nikola does way better, way more optimized, and way more efficient. And also faster too, in my opinion. So with this being said, there's many factors that Nikola has to do. For one thing, they have no sales, they need factories, they need mass production if they really want this to be a successful business in the long term. And right now, all investors really have is a pipe dream promise by Trevor Milton. And the people that are purchasing this stock at $74 per share right now are just putting a lot of money on the promises of Trevor Milton. And you have to really take this person into consideration. He is the person that is really like the salesman for investors, trying to get a lot of people to invest in this company and of course get that share price up as well. Now this is my personal opinion, but I don't believe a lot of what Trevor Milton is saying. There's also the statement in which he said that very few people can out Elon, in which he is one of them. And honestly, that's just one of those statements that I kind of just laugh at, because I don't believe that whatsoever. Elon Musk is what we call an outlier. He is extremely intelligent. He finds simple solutions in some of the most difficult situations, and he knows how to optimize. And I just don't think Trevor Milton is even close in comparison. I think he's just someone that has a lot of money, but when it comes down to actually building a company and leading a company, I don't think that he's in any way comparable to Elon Musk. And another thing that I don't like about Nikola right now is that they are trying to sue Tesla. At this point, I think this stock, Nikola stock, is a joke, because for one thing, they created their company name off of the hype behind Tesla. As we know, the individual name Nikola Tesla, it all goes together. So with Tesla being so popular and with the stock price going up so much recently, I think it's just a big money grab for them to create a company called NKLA or Nikola, because it just seems like it goes along with Tesla. And for the rookie investors out there, they may see similarities or cleverness in those names and may decide to purchase Nikola stock just because they think it's somehow related to Tesla, when it's really not similar whatsoever, because it's two different companies. So for one thing, I just think it's a big cash grab, a big money grab for them to name their company just similar to Tesla as well. And for another thing, especially when you're trying to compete with Tesla while also making your name similar to Tesla, I don't think it's a very good idea to try to sue the big man on the street, just because, especially when your name is referencing your competitor, you kind of want to show a little bit of respect for what this major company has accomplished. And especially with Nikola being a new company in the game, you don't really want to come out attacking all of your competitors directly. The best way to really compete with the top dog is to just do it with the numbers and do it with the logistics and do it with your own company growth. So the best way to really speak to the top dog is to just show how good your company is and improve and keep growing and producing vehicles at volume. And that's really what Tesla has done to all of the other legacy automakers out there. As Tesla was on the rise, at least they were showing a little bit of respect to the legacy automakers. And it's kind of like that situation where it's just less talk, more action, and they prove it with their fundamentals and what they're doing in the world right now. So I don't like the idea that Nikola is suing Tesla. And keep in mind, I'm not 100% sure on this, but I did see this information in some videos and in some articles as well. But I think the general consensus of what happened was that Nikola and Trevor Milton got an idea of what the Tesla Semi design was before they even announced the Tesla Semi and did the whole reveal event and stuff like that. And they went in behind Tesla and patented Tesla's own design and then sued Tesla for using that design. So that's really the icing on the cake right here. I don't want to invest in any sort of company that engages in like industrial espionage and just dirty moves like that. Like, I don't see Tesla doing that to any other company out there. They're simply just proving themselves by following the rules and doing it way better than any other company can. And as we know, Tesla even open sourced some of their patents to where it would be easier for other legacy automakers to transition over to the renewable energy automotive industry, the electric vehicle industry. industry and transition from ICE vehicles to electric vehicles. So they actually tried to make it easier for this transition to occur for some of their other competitors out there. Yet you have Nikola suing Tesla for using their own design. I think that's absolutely ridiculous. And not even considering all of these other factors, that factor alone right there really makes me not want to invest in Nikola stock, just because that's something that you really don't do. It doesn't look good on you as a company, and especially with you entering the game and entering the stock market as a newly listed stock, I don't think that's something that you want to do, especially when your name is pretty much built off of the Tesla name. So these are just a few factors as well, and I just think that Trevor Milton has a lot of empty promises. I think that he's pretty much a salesman to pump up this stock, and this actually reminds me of a bad experience I've had myself. This seems like one of those situations where you go to a financial advisor and you think it's someone that's actually looking out for you and trying to help you, but they end up just trying to sell you something to where they get a commission on, something that they can make money off of, rather than just actually giving you the truth and a good vision. Like with Nikola stock as well, I think it's just similar to that, where they're selling us a vision right now, something that is very unlikely to happen, and there's a lot of hype behind this, and especially just with there being no sales and all of these factors combined together, I think this stock is at an absolutely ridiculous price. It's one of the most overvalued stocks in the stock market right now. I completely get it if you're short-term trading this stock and just trying to make some money based off of the hype with everyone else. I get that totally. But if you're trying to buy Nikola stock in hopes of it being the next Tesla, I think that's almost like reaching for straws. Honestly, I think that buying Tesla stock at $1,000 would be a much better investment than buying Nikola stock at $64 right now. And you would get a lot more value out of Tesla, in my opinion, even though it is a higher price. It's just one of those things. It's kind of similar to many other things out there. Of course, the cheaper thing, it's cheaper, it's nice, you don't have to spend a lot of money, but sometimes spending the extra money really provides you a lot more value, and it's more worth it in the long term, in which I think Tesla stock is a much better option than Nikola stock, and I think that Tesla will easily beat Nikola in terms of semi-production and semi-sales as well. So in my opinion, Nikola stock and Nikola as a company is just a lot of talk right now, and it's incredibly hard for someone to start up in the automotive industry, and I think that Tesla was just one of those rare examples, that rare outlier that actually became successful. And I just don't think that that is going to happen with Nikola. I would love to see it happen if they engaged in respectable business practices and they actually proved their numbers. If they started proving numbers and providing a better plan and didn't try to sue Tesla over their own design and stuff like that, then I would be in great support of this company, because I like to see the world transitioning to renewable energy. But in my opinion, I just don't think this stock is there right now. And I especially don't think it's worth $64. Even at $30, I thought that was like a ridiculously high price considering the fundamentals and everything behind it. But at $64, I would say avoid this stock at all costs. That's just my personal opinion. I'm making this video to provide some perspective to other people out there, and of course to give my stance on this stock as well. I just think it's one of those that a lot of people could lose money out on. It's just one of those stocks where if you invest in this, you're taking the risk of being the last man to hold this while everyone else sells. In my opinion, this is one of those situations where a lot of people are investing in it just because they see everyone else getting hyped about it, and they're just hoping that they won't be the last person to sell and the person selling at the bottom. So that's my thoughts and perspective on this stock. Like I said, I completely get it if this is just some gamble money for you, and instead of going to Vegas or something like that, you just want to mess around with Nikola stock. That's completely understandable. But if you're looking for an actual respectable investment for the long term, I think that this is something to avoid. But anyways, I hope you all enjoyed this video. Please make sure to smash that like button, drop a like on the video. It really does help me out. And if you would like to begin investing, feel free to use my referral link to Robinhood and Webull in the description below. If you sign up with those links, then you'll get some free stocks. But anyways, I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I hope you have a fantastic rest of your week. Stay safe out there.